10 years ago, I went to China the first time with a group of travel agents, as a matter of fact, and came home with an entirely different feeling about this faraway land. First, that it wasn't that far away. Secondarily, that it was not a third world country that many of us thought it was, that it was in fact a first world country, the culture definitely a first world country. And so I started taking groups over, and gradually over the years found that everyone that went came back with a whole different feeling about themselves, about our country, and about the country of China. And so the next logical step was to take youth to China. This particular group, the North Monterey County High School Band, was really the first that went by government invitation. That government invitation took about 3 years to bring about.
My initial thoughts when Ed Pio came to me to talk about the tour or possibility of taking a group to China was that great idea, there's no way I could come up with that money that quickly. I think the kids had the same feeling, is that what a great idea, but how are we going to come up with the money so quickly? Again, we had just come off a tour, and to ask for more money immediately was, we thought that might be a problem, but to our surprise, because of where we were going, it was much easier to get the money than we realized.
The challenge comes from the people that aren't going, not the people that are going. The part of going and getting it done, and like I say, I've traveled enough with a band to know it's a logistical nightmare, but you know, it went off really well. So I mean, as far as trusting that you can pick up the group, get it over there, move it around, and get it back in one piece, didn't seem to be a problem, especially with the help that the Chinese folks provided us. The problems back at home come from the folks that don't understand what kinds of learning is going to happen, and they're concerned about what the kids are going to miss in the classroom. You know, if you don't risk a bunch, you don't get much. I mean, that's kind of, we've done some of the major things we've done educationally here with our schedule and our teaching methods, and the reforms we've done have been because we've been willing to risk. And you know, if you just do what you've always done, you don't grow, you don't go anywhere. You just kind of keep, doing the same thing over and over and over.
So what do you expect the trip's going to be?
I don't know. It should be exciting.
What are you looking forward to see and do?
I'm looking forward to Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City and the Great Wall and all that. Should be fun.
I don't know, just having an open mind and expect to have a good time.
What do you think is going to happen when we get there?
I think it's going to be pretty friendly, and I think it'll just be a lot of fun.
What do you think about playing at the various high schools?
I think it'll be nice to see the way they're playing and the way we're different and how we run things and how they treat people.
I think it's gonna be a really good experience because somewhere really far away, and I've never been that far. I think it's gonna be fun. I don't know how we got to where we are, but I'm glad that we did.
I think we're gonna have a lot of people looking at us, they're gonna be interested in us, and I think we'll have a lot of fun too.
We've got a great group of kids. They will be well received, and they're going to be awesome. This is totally going to change them.
3 generations in our family going.
How do you think the kids will do talking to the kids?
Wonderful. Kids can bridge barriers easily. Music opens doors.
Well, fortunately, we've traveled before, so we have known what to expect when we get to an airport. We knew that the equipment had to be not only inventoried, but it also had to be wrapped properly so that, that it could go through the handling.
The approach to what the kids were going to miss and how they would make it up differed widely among the teachers. Some of them gave them very specific things based on their China experience to do, and others of them just expected them to do whatever it was they were missing here. It's kind of all over the place, you know, how the teachers went about integrating the material.
Here, I sincerely welcome you to China and our beautiful country.
I've traveled and done a lot of music festivals, parades, and tours throughout Canada and back east. By far, this is by far the best tour I've ever been on. It even outdid the inauguration when we did the inauguration for President Clinton. The Chinese people are so devoid of music in the way that we're so used to it. They are so interested in hearing the band sound, both the jazz band and the concert band sound, that it was a big hit. We never had to worry about a crowd. There was actually police outside the auditoriums pushing people away because the auditoriums were too crowded. And I'll tell you, it's by far the most appreciative crowd you'll ever play for.
Treatment in China was particularly good, and particularly VIP treatment with police cars in front and back of our buses going straight through intersections, freeways closed, all of those wonderful things.
The opportunity we had to go a different number of places that were distinctly different. You know, Shanghai and Xi'an and Beijing are really 3 different places significantly. You came home with a sense that there's something much larger than what we're used to, that you know, the world is a much bigger place, and that I think the kids, I hope, came away with the idea that people are people.
Tell him the band, I expect the band to go meet his band.
behind.
当着北方的学生拿一些乐器，要注意和我们东方的学生在一起互相交流。大家呢？
Of course, in addition to the performances, the marching and the concert performances, the schedule also had to include all of the major sightseeing in all of the cities that we were involved in. And so we did get a chance to see the Terracotta Warriors. We did get a chance to see and actually stand on, take pictures and everything on the Great Wall. But I did learn something that was kind of interesting, and that was we were denied permission to actually perform on the Great Wall. We were welcome to take pictures and so forth, but the performance on the Great Wall and on Tiananmen Square is evidently sacred, almost sacred, and very, very few, other than military, ever get permission to do performances in those two places. So I hope in the future we can actually get a permit to do it in Tiananmen Square as well as on the wall, something we can look forward to. I think the most exciting thing to me is the fact that the Chinese committee wants us back. And they're planning already for at least 2 bands or 400 passengers next year. And they will produce exactly the same itinerary, exactly the same performance venues, everything for next year. Now all we have to do is find 2 bands of championship quality, large bands. We're looking for bands that are at least 120 members. And once we find those 2 or 3, then we'll be set up for March of 2002. Well, Global Music Exchange has, I think, not only mine, but my partner's vision is to take the arts and to other countries and to, through the arts, to build friends, not only in China, but in Russia and in other parts of the world that, that I think need to have communication with us and us with them.
The biggest change that you're going to see is with your group. Your kids are going to grow leaps and bounds on this one tour, and it will also bond your band or choir or orchestra closer than they've ever been before, because there is a battle you're going to go through, but it is a wonderful battle to win.
Hospitality and the friendship that they showed, the fellowship that they showed, they really wanted to, get in there and get a piece of what America was like, and we wanted to get in there, get a piece of what China was like.
Would you go back to China?
Absolutely. I'd especially like to go back to Shanghai and Beijing. It was so amazing there. Go for it. It's such a blast. It's the time of your life.
And you can be part of it very easily by giving Global Music Exchange a call.